Hello everybody, welcome to the TULLOCH CLAN channel. I should have put my seatbelt on before I started driving, but I didn't, and that's what living life on the edge is all about. Alright, today I'm going to talk to you about my fight prediction for Alexander Volkanovski against Max Holloway coming up at UFC 245. UFC 245 coming up very shortly. Alexander Volkanovski, what a legend. Okay, he has been on a storm. He is undefeated and he is on a storm coming through the division. Max Holloway, he has been on a bit of a different path. So he all but cleaned out his division. Then he went and did a few random different fights. So he went and did the fight with Dustin Poirier. Okay, not a few different random fights. He went and did the fight with Dustin Poirier, and that was, he got beaten up. And I think that was a bit of a surprise because I was really expecting him to potentially beat Dustin. I was also expecting him to match Dustin in the size department. But the thing that we really saw in that fight, Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway, was that Dustin Poirier was huge. He was massive. Max, although he is big for the flyweight division, he's definitely not big in the lightweight division. Okay, which was very interesting. It's not that applicable, obviously, to this fight coming up, but because it is in the flyweight division, but Max got beaten up, he's taken some damage, and then he's also had these medical concerns. And I know these concerns have been like maybe over the past 2 or 3 years, where he's missed weight. There was the fight where he was like really delirious, could hardly talk. I think that was when he was set to fight Khabib, and he had to withdraw from that fight. So it was just, there's been all these different health concerns. Now my belief is, all of these fights, this wear and tear that has gone on with Max, that combined with the game of Alexander Volkanovski, I believe is going to see Volkanovski take out this fight. So, just a little bit of information on Volkanovski for our viewers from the Northern Hemisphere. He is formerly a rugby league player, and he also played in the front row. Okay, now front row is generally, you're not going to be a front rower unless you're over 100 kilos, so 220 pounds, but generally most front rowers would be 110 kilos. So Volkanovski, I believe, I've done my looking and researching, I believe he weighed in, he was an undersized front rower, so he might have been about 200 to 210 pounds, but he was a decent sized unit. He had quite a decent sized rig for his size. So then you break that down and you look at it. So this guy, Volkanovski, is used to competing, wrestling, tussling, fighting with elite athletes who are very big. A thing that North Americans, or I guess people from the Northern Hemisphere, don't realize about rugby league and rugby union. Rugby league and rugby union is just pretty much grappling with a ball. There's a common misconception out there that people in the Southern Hemisphere don't do wrestling. Yeah, sure, we don't do wrestling, I guess, in the sense that we don't have competitive wrestling, but we're playing rugby and rugby league from the age of, 5 and 6. We know how to do a double leg tackle very young. We might not know the technique and that aspect of wrestling, but the contact, the confrontation, of a person projecting a human projectile running at you as fast as they can, and you're expected to double leg them and put them on the ground. That's just normal stuff for us Kiwis and Aussies. Okay, so by the time you get to Volkanovski's level, where he's cut all this weight off his body, he's trimmed down, he's now a UFC fighter, he's the #1 contender in his division, he's going up against Max Holloway, and I don't really think Max Holloway is going to be able to deal with the strength, the power in that way. I was going to say perhaps the pressure, but as we all know, Holloway is a bit of a pressure fighter himself, so I don't think cardio will really be an issue. But I think strength, power will be an issue. So initially, this is how I will see the fight going. I see Holloway initially will be trying to stay on the outside. He'll be trying to use his long jab, and he'll basically try to use his volume striking to pick him off on the outside. I see Volkanovski in the first 2 to 3 rounds pushing him up against the cage, trying to wear him down and taking away Holloway's only real effective weapon, which is his volume striking. He will push him up against the cage. He'll use his strength to wear him down, and I think we will see over the course of second, third round, as they both tire, it will then go onto the feet, and what I believe you will see is Volkanovski starting to use his pressure striking, perhaps putting him on the ground with his Greco-Roman wrestling, and I'm predicting, let's say, a ground and pound finish. Ground and pound finish from Volkanovski in the later rounds, or just a points victory for Volkanovski. Those are the only two ways I can see it going. I don't think Holloway has the ability to outstrike Volkanovski to the point where he can finish him. Volkanovski, yes, he is the strong beast. Yes, he has a Greco-Roman wrestling background, but he has been training with Brad Riddell, who is a renowned kickboxer. He has been training with CKB many years, I think. I wouldn't say many years, but as full disclosure, I'm a member at City Kickboxing, just another member down there, and I believe he would have been coming and doing camps for at least a couple of years now. So he's got the system downloaded. His striking has leveled up a lot just through training with Brad Riddell, who's now in the UFC, and just seeing the level, I just don't think Holloway is going to be being able to handle what Volkanovski is going to bring to the park for this particular fight. The matchup is not good. He's a short guy, he's stocky, he's strong. He's going to overpower him. Now that is what I believe is going to happen. Can Max find a way to win? For sure, absolutely, he can find a way to win. He can stop getting taken down, he can push out off the cage, he could wear out Volkanovski if his cardio is that good, and I think that will be a big part of the determining factor. We know that both of them have got really good cardio, but who's got the better cardio, and how much of this power game and strength game that Volkanovski's got is going to come into play. Right, that is my assessment of Volkanovski against Holloway. I should be saying Holloway against Volkanovski because Holloway is the champion. Both legends in their own right. Volkanovski for the win. Let's go Team Australia. The Anzacs getting it done. Team City Kickboxing. Let's go.